Oh man, those left-wing liberals and Democrats sure do love their MS-13 members. Oh no, said the Democrat as their future Democratic voters are released off of the voter rolls. All of this as the resistance against Donald Trump is definitely ratcheting up, as right now we have some very interesting things happening against the presidency of the United States, not just on a federal level, but also on a very local level. We have some interesting actions in Illinois, Seattle, up north in Canada. The Canucks just got a whole bunch of kooky. All of this, as I think it would be interesting to take a little deep dive, do a little perspective on where the resistance is today, as there was even an impeachment attempt against Donald Trump. All of this, as I think it's good to categorize all of this insanity all at once here, since some of it is just so disingenuous, so astroturfed, so fake, that we have to, of course, call it out. As the biggest perpetrator of fake news is the corporate media, as we had Western Landsman recently make this kind of compilation of the corporate media saying the same thing all at the same time, just highlighting, you know what, a lot of this is coordinated in a lot more of a way than we actually think.
We begin tonight with the escalation in the president's crackdown on illegal immigration.
Today's dramatic escalation in the Trump administration's conflict with judges.
The Trump administration signaling a major escalation in its deportation efforts.
Today, an escalation in the Trump administration's battle with the judiciary.
Tensions between local and federal authorities over President Trump's immigration crackdown escalated today.
We begin this hour with a major escalation of the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration.
We begin with what appears to be a major escalation in the Trump administration's deportation efforts.
And what is a major escalation in the battle here in D.C. over immigration and deportation.
This feels like an insane and reckless escalation from the Trump administration arresting a judge. I will tell you, you are not alone.
It's a dramatic escalation.
More aggressive moves, more escalation.
Trump's escalation of his migrant purge.
This kind of escalatory action.
This is a dramatic escalation.
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 We've seen an escalation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure escalation isn't the word of the day for like Pictionary or some kind of apps out there, as I'm pretty convinced now we're reaching a point where all of the NPC prostitutes of the horse string media literally just get an update, just like your car gets updates now. Dude, escalate. Everyone say escalate right now, immediately. And that's exactly what they are doing here, as they accuse Donald Trump of doing that. But then we literally have governors of entire states right now coming out publicly and telling everyone to protest, to disrupt, and to, quote, not give Republicans a moment of peace, when political violence is pretty heated in this country, as those are escalatory statements during a very key, important time in our country filled with a lot of uncertainties. And this man, a big money power broker and politician that has involved himself in the discourse, is doing it, in my opinion, in all of the toxic ways, as the governor of Illinois, Chicago, decided to stand up against Donald Trump and his deportation of criminals, and therefore Donald Trump decided to respond back by cutting $2 billion in federal funds to the governor of Illinois because of his sanctuary status in his state that specifically allows illegal criminals to be harbored by the local government there, as ICE agents are having a very difficult time in Chicago trying to get a lot of the criminals and illegals off of the streets. They can't do that because the government there has prepped and has done everything in its power to prevent that from happening, as Pritzker has been providing illegals with free health care. And of course, he wanted the federal government to pay for it, and Donald Trump said, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. And now Pritzker just as of a couple hours ago, made this announcement here, which absolutely escalates the temperature in the room.
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption, but I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace.
What? They can't know a moment of peace, really? Did you know what just happened during the Summer of Love with the BLM rights? Do you see what has happened with left-wing violence in this country, especially as of late? Did you see all the major events that have been absolutely tragic and have escalated? See, I'm using the word now since it's the word of the day, word of the week by the corporate media. Escalated severely. Before playing the rest of this clip and talking about the other maneuvers being made by Canada, by a congressman from Indiana, by Seattle, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop. Our shop, my shop, where we have some of the best high-quality products. I think we only have a few of these boxes left for Mother's Day. We made it very easy and convenient, 4 items, and we put them all in one box. We made it all rough, we made it all nice. We have some of the best products out there, specifically when it comes to boosting health and beauty for your mama or your baby mama. We did it in a way where you could just write your name in there. Boom, we got the stickers. It's a pretty box. It's just convenient because, as guys understand here, we don't like to do any of that work. We did a lot of the work for you. As Mother's Day is coming up on May 11th, guys, listen, we always wait till the last minute. You can't wait for the last minute. You got to make sure this gets in the mail. We're going to mail it out. If you guys order this, we're going to mail it out as soon as possible because we want to make sure it gets there right before Mother's Day on May 11th. So order right now, and this is going to be probably the last time that you will be able to get the No More Drama from Your Mama bundle, which is really just a great boost for the mental cognitive health of your significant other or your mother. Again, being able to have peace of mind with your baby mama or your mama, it's priceless. We help provide that with some magnesium glycinate, common sense creatine, magnesium mist, and eye roller if she wants to look pretty. Listen, I'm telling you, boys, once, especially older women, they start taking creatine, their minds actually work way better than when they don't take creatine. When your lady doesn't get enough sleep, she's cranky. She's going to take it out on you. Give her some magnesium glycinate. She's going to relax more. She gets that magnesium mist on her feet, right before she goes to sleep. Boom! Oh, man, you got a new woman. That's not going to give you any headaches. Wearechange.shop. Get it. This is your kind of last year. It's just the last time you can really get it. Now here, let's see what Pritzker has else to say during his very fiery speech here that definitely, in my opinion, is going to be motivating some very bad actors in our political system that will hear this message and essentially see, yeah, this is the guy giving us a stamp of approval. He's telling us to do this. Let's go. Let's do this. And this is just ridiculousness and idiocy, in my opinion.
They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box.
Yeah, again, just not the best choice of words here, specifically with everything that has been happening in this country, as there are activists out there that have tried to take the life of politicians, and there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of threats against Doge, Elon Musk. Donald Trump literally got shot at, okay? Donald Trump's getting shot at and has people just trying to take his life. Escalatory language. This is not the time and place for it, but Pritzker, a man who's coming out and talking about how it's all these MAGA Republicans that are responsible for all the evils of this world, are absolutely delusional. This is the kind of billionaire bought-off corporatist type of candidate, hijacking government. As of course, this is probably going to be the guy that's going to try to run for the presidency in 2028, and he's trying to become the front runner here as he comes out and says, RFK Jr.'s policies about health are deeply disturbing and dangerous. Meanwhile, the guy looks like a freaking Oompa Loompa. All right, let's just be real with ourselves. All right, the guy looks like he has seconds, thirds, fourths, and fifths at the dinner table here. The guy looks like it takes 365 days to just walk around him. The guy looks like he's pregnant with quadruplets. Again, and he's lecturing RFK Jr. about health policy here. He also then went on and talked about how federal workers don't deserve a 19-year-old Doge bro called Big Boys to destroy their career. I think they do. And I think it's right that particularly happened here. But this is the guy that has spent a lot of his money, specifically in the local Wisconsin elections recently, that helped the Democrats win through the help of billionaires like him with deep pockets that have greatly benefited the liberal democratic woke causes out there in this world. And this is the major broker of a lot of these particular ideas. Illinois is a very corrupted state known for a lot of underhanded, unfair, illegal play by a lot of the politicians out there. As now, that's just one element of the, quote, resistance against Donald Trump, as enter this weird Indian guy who is a member of Congress, Shri Thanadar, as a lot of people responded with his video today saying, is this an SNL skit? Is this real life? Like, is this, wait. This is the Democratic member of Congress that, by the way, has also a lot of financial and legal issues. This is the guy that's making a video because he wants an MS-13 gang member back in the United States. Yep, it's actually real.
Must be allowed to return and receive due process. This is Congressman Shri Thanadar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy, but defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia
Oh no, Mr. Garcia, the poor Maryland man, as the corporate media likes to call him, as Laura Loomer came out and said Indiana Democrat congressman who filed articles of impeachment against President Trump today has a history of financial scams, has been accused of fraud multiple times in court filings, as some people are even alluding that he was probably pushed and coerced to do this nonsensical move that, of course, won't amount to anything since Donald Trump controls the Congress and the Senate. To think that he's going to be somehow impeached here is ridiculous, and it's an activist grandstanding trying to make a name for himself with the utter ridiculous policies that they're propelling forward. But hey, in today's day and age, when you say bombastic stuff, when you say insane, stupid stuff, that's when people will pay attention to you. That's when people, of course, talk about you. And the more people talk about you, the more likely you are to win elections. And I think that's why Pritzker is doing what he's doing. I think that's why this Democratic congressman is doing what he's doing, because he understands, hey, we're going to get a lot of attention here. All of this as Washington State is continuing in their own kind of very weird woke policies, as they just announced official policies to discriminate against white homeowners. Yes, you heard that correctly. Washington is going to be giving $120,000 to non-white homeowners, as Mike Lee, another member of Congress, came out and said, yeah, this is a 14th Amendment Equals Protection Clause violation, and it's not even a close question. This is lawlessness, and that's what you kind of expect here from the left, from the liberals. They take things into their own hands, and they just decide, you know what, we know what's best for you. And they are a party of a lot of individuals that are saying, you know what, yeah, just give money away. It grows on trees. That's kind of the liberal logic here is overwhelmingly, in the making of this video, we're also finding out that is, of course, what the people of Canada love and want more of, as we just got the election results from Canada, overwhelmingly showing how the Conservative Party there lost significantly, as the Conservative Party, Pierre Poilievre, came out against Donald Trump and his wishes to make Canada the 51st state of the United States. But for some reason, Canadian voters really love their leftist, corporatist banksters. As of course we have the guy connected to the Bank of England, the Bank of Canada, a Bilderberg member, a high-ranking globalist member of all the secret societies that soon will, of course, win the majority of seats in Canada's 45th federal election and will be forming the new government there. That probably will be filled with more World Economic Forum, banksters, corporatists, and other opportunists that will be taking the helms of government and deciding to, of course, lead it in the direction of global slavery, totalitarian, top-down, communistic control of every aspect of human fricking life. As Donald Trump just released this message saying, "Oh, Canada." As will he be the man to potentially liberate Canada from Canada? Well, as we have the national anthem play over there with this fake CGI AI image of Donald Trump looking over the great land above us in the north, I understand why maybe we need to liberate Canada from Canada. Maybe we need to save Canada from Canada, as it's pretty clear. The leadership of Mark Carney will be the same leadership as it was under Justin Trudeau, as the Canadian government will be following suit, following the same agenda that has been propelled and pushed forward by the previous predecessor here that, of course, loved globalism. He adored China, talked about how great it was that they could move their economy on a dime. And when it comes to the leftists and the liberals, this, of course, will now create more tensions between Canada and the United States that now will be at more odds with each other. But it's kind of fascinating here to understand that you know, Canada, especially after everything that they've went through. And a lot of people are saying, you know what, I thought there was going to be some hope here, specifically with what we just saw happen in the United States, saying, hey, you know, maybe if we could do it here in America, we could do it in Canada. And it looks like that is not the case here, as we have libs of TikTok, right? RIP Canada. And it's pretty clear here that they are going to be moving towards a totalitarian, top-down, gross form of government that believes that they have the right to implement their will against everyone because they know what is better for everyone. Now, the Republicans aren't perfect. Donald Trump's not perfect. I criticize him sometimes in these particular videos when it comes to policies that he implements that I disagree with. But overwhelmingly, when you compare his policies to the policies of Joe Biden and the liberals and the Democrats, and to see just how heavy-handed they are and authoritarian they are. You're seeing that right now in Europe, where candidates don't even have the opportunity to run. If you're a right-wing candidate, nope, you can't run. What, you think you're going to have some kind of voice here? You think you're going to have access to the democratic process? Nope. Snuffed out immediately, just like Marine Le Pen, just like we saw in Romania, and just like we're seeing right now with the ADF inside of Germany. And again, it's pretty clear. Most of the world, in the western part of it, is liberal. And that liberal is just a facade for the globalists that are organizing, orchestrating, and coalescing around the same type of messaging, as it's pretty fair to assume here that they have lost, and there's going to be some very underhanded, unfair play here. And we're seeing everything escalating, just like the corporate media loves to say recently, to a crescendo moment that's being shaped up to be a very bad one for political discourse in this country here. As, of course, we have politicians that feel comfortable saying what Governor Pritzker did today. And when politicians are calling for this, when these billionaires that all back the same idea and back the same organizations and the same institutions that all coalesce together, we are probably headed towards more summer of love shenanigans like we have previously seen in this country. But now the stakes are just a little bit higher here, since, you know, there's people out there trying to take the life of politicians. And sadly, that's the type of situation that we're in right now. A crazy situation that we would have hoped would have de-escalated. It's not. These guys are making sure it escalates. They're calling for impeachments. They're just trying to give away as much money as they can. And now the last kind of batch of resistance against this type of totalitarian insanity is Donald Trump and the coalition that, of course, he has built himself around him. That represents more of a coalition of individuals saying enough is enough of government overreach and government telling you how to live your life here. May God willing give us total freedom and liberation from totalitarian government forces out there. Make sure you got a healthy, happy mama out there. WeAreChange.shop. Check it out. Get it, because again, this is probably going to be the last time. Stay tuned for more. We're going to probably release like 4 more videos later on today, all exclusively here on youtube.com/WeAreChange. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys watching, supporting this independent media organization, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/WeAreChange.